welcome to another episode of The Legends. Today we are all the way in Igabangonde sub-county in Tharaka Nithi County at the home of Reverend Isaac Mpungu, an old friend of mine who was my minister way back when I was a young man in the youth. Welcome to the program, Reverend Mpungu.
Thank you.
Now, we want to know Reverend Isaac Mpungu and how you came into the ministry. So, introduce yourself and why and how you came into the ministry and what really made you join the ordained ministry.
Well, back in 1966, when I was in class 7 in Mpungu County, there came some missionaries wanting some young men to go and train as ministers. But after I learned that this was not an Anglican or Presbyterian ministry, I declined. Then I went back to school, and when I was in Form 2, 1973, a church minister by the name of Michel came to speak to our school. And somebody else came who is called the Reverend Dr. Joya. Those two ministers inspired me into the ministry. And especially Dr. Joya, the way he presented himself and he presented to the youth, and the way he encouraged the youth, I felt I need to be a minister like him. And even today, he has continued to be my mentor. Despite many things that are said about him.
Yes.
I don't care about that, but what I know is that he is my mentor, and that is where I started getting inspiration about the ministry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you joined the ministry in 1973?
No, I didn't join that time.
Yes.
Because I was told I must finish Form 4
Yes.
and then do something else before I join.
Oh, okay.
Then I finished Form 4 1975, and I worked for Kenya Student Fellowship.
Yes.
As a bookseller, and then I worked for, that was 1976. Then I worked for University of Nairobi in the library ministry, in the library department for 1 year. That was 77, 78. Then 1979 is when I went to Rimuru for the ministry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when were you ordained?
I was ordained because I went in 1979, 80, 81, 82. So I went for practicals at Kamandura for 2 years. That is 83, 84.
Okay.
I stayed for 2 years before licensing.
2 years?
2 years.
And that was normal then?
That was very normal.
Okay.
That was very normal.
Yes.
Because I was licensed in October 1984.
Yes.
And then December I was ordained.
Okay.
Then I was posted to a new parish. That was Keberegwe Parish.
Okay. That's interesting to hear. Today, somebody staying for 2 years before being licensed would be a story to tell. So, between the time you were ordained, how many, and the time you retired, how many parishes did you serve? I
have served in several parishes.
Yes.
Because from Kamandura, that is Rimuru. From Rimuru I went to Keberegwe. Then from there I went to Teto. From there I went to Magumoni, Mokoni. By then it was Magumoni.
Okay.
Magumoni. From there I went to US for 2 years.
Yes.
Then from there I went to Mpungu Parish. Then from Mpungu I went to Chinga Parish. From Chinga Parish I went to Chuka.
Okay.
Chuka Presbyterian, Chuka Town Church.
Okay.
Then from Chuka Town Church I went to Orokalia, that is Maera Parish in Nyandarua.
Okay.
Then from Maera I came back again to Mokoni Parish.
Yes.
That is where I retired.
Oh, okay.
That is 2016 December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite a number of parishes that you have served within the duration of your active ministry.
Yeah.
So, Reverend Mpungu, what would you say is the difference between ministry then and ministry today? Because the ministry that time and today are totally different things.
One is communication.
Communication. Okay.
There's a big difference because to move here to go to Limuru parish, ilikuwa kazi.
Okay.
Ilikuwa kazi because you don't have even a bike, you don't even have a gari, so unarukia matatu, so you just go and with a lot of things, like when you have children, you have a lot of problems in communication. And then the other thing was meeting people and people accepting you as a young person. Like you have heard that I went to Kamandura and then 2 good years because wazee walikuwa wakisema like kamwana kamba kakutage wera. You see, they thought I'm still young and I should at least grow there. So that was a big challenge to me because in fact I was not young by then because I was over 25 years.
Yes.
And I think I was nearing 30. But then people called me Kamwana. But those are the challenges. The other challenge was the flow of the salary payment. It was very poor, very, very bad. Because you could stay for even 6 months without a salary. And how you survive that period mattered a lot.
Yes.
Because the things that help us, me and Mama Gasheri, ni shamba. Tulikuwa tunalima. We were farming. And we were harvesting beans, maize, and selling and getting food and school fees. So, but today, things are different because although there are parishes which do not pay well, I mean do not pay promptly, very many parishes are paying promptly and ministers are not suffering a lot.
Yes.
That's the difference I can cite. Yeah.
So how are you able to continue the work of farming here and you are way out there in the parish?
We were engaging some workers here. Then we leave them and I'm surprised. That time people were very trusted. You could keep somebody here, he harvests a lot of food for you, he keeps that, then you come and sell it. But today you cannot do that.
So the world has changed negatively, actually. So you have talked about some people who impacted you in ministry.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you have a lot of experience in the ministry for the number of years that you have been in active ministry. You have talked about 2 challenges, the issue of communication and the issue of the issue of the family, movement of the family. What are, in terms of the ministry, being in a parish and dealing with the elders and dealing with the parish, and must have been wide parishes, not like today. We are dealing with
because like Limuru we had 18 congregations.
So how are you handling that?
Okay, one, it was very tiring, very cumbersome, and very annoying.
Annoying, okay.
Annoying because you work, wazee waone kama unafanya kazi.
Okay.
Waone kama unafanya kazi. So you go to sleep with a lot of headaches.
Yes.
That was one challenge. The other thing was coordinating the groups.
Yes.
Because you carry every group in your head. The women's guild, the brigade, all those, the 10 ministries of the church, you carry them. So to coordinate them, it was not simple. That was a big challenge to me. I don't know about the others, but to me that was a big challenge.
Yes.
But altogether, I managed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a time that the challenges were too much to the extent that at some point you contemplating or regretted having joined the ministry?
Actually, I didn't get to that time, to that point. Because I could see some old men like Kingi, Reverend Kingi, and they were encouraging me, and Reverend Nyaga Jason, encouraging me, telling me this is where we are passed to Mepitia Yote, so you don't have to worry, and our God is there, you know, He is going to care for you. You know, those encouragement kept me going. Yeah.
So in other words, you're talking about the need for a good fraternity of ministers, whereby you learn from your peers and you encourage one another.
Exactly, actually.
So does that mean that the failure of ministers to come together and to work together as a team affects the ministry?
Very much so. Because when, like now, how many years have we parted?
Over 20.
Not over 20, it will be over 30 years.
Yes, it is.
It is over 30 years.
Yeah, I remember.
Now, my friend, my young minister that I mentioned, 30 years have elapsed. We have not met.
Yes.
Now, how can I help him? How can he help me? Wameenda huko umepata mama mazuri. How can you help me within that years and we are not meeting? So meeting together, old and new and old and young ministers, sharing those experiences, sharing whatever one is doing is very important for the ministry. And especially if when it comes to the old ministers, they need to be given a special time to be meeting maybe once in a year, or once in 2 years, or once in 3 years. I don't know.
Yes.
But once a year will be okay, because within that year many will be going. So I would request that we have ministers fraternal for the aged, old ministers, retired ministers, maybe once in a year. Yeah.
Do you have regular fraternal of meetings of the ministers here?
We normally have, but we have one big challenge. The funds.
Okay.
We meet once in a while, because we normally meet before we meet the presbytery. The ministers meet, but sometimes we skip because of lack of funding. Yeah.
Retirement, as we say, is not an event. It's a process.
It's a process.
Can you give us the process through which you went in preparation of retirement, so that you can be where you are? We can see you are settled here, and you got settled here a long time ago.
Yeah. Way back in 1984. When I was in Kamandona, our first daughter, Gasheri, we came here for holidays.
Okay.
There they had their room. Each one had a bed. When we came here, we had a small manned house, and they were sleeping 3 in one bed. One morning she woke up and told me, "Baba, can we go back to our place? This is not our place. Hapa si kwetu, tuende kwetu nyumbani." In fact, I cried. I shed tears. Mtoto ananiambia kwao si kwao. How? Then I started thinking about building this house. When I went back to Kamandora, in 1984, I ordered for these bricks. These are bricks.
Okay.
6,000 of them. And I was buying one at 1 shilling and 10 cents. And that was a lot of money.
Yes.
That was a lot of money. So I started preparing myself for a house, or for a home, from 1984. Then 1987 is when this was started, when I laid the foundation stone. And then it went on, and it took some time to pick up. It took some time. But altogether, it was completed, and here we are.
So are you, in essence, telling me that you started the preparation for your retirement right at the time when you started ministry?
Yes.
Because 1984 is when you started ministry.
Yes, when I started ministry.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was not even ordained. Yeah.
Okay.
I was not even ordained.
You started working one step at a time.
One step at a time.
Focusing on where you will be with your family.
Yeah, because I say, not at a time. A child will challenge me on this line. Then I started working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Reverend Mpungu, you have so far given us a lot of information on the way you prepared for retirement. So, maybe in terms of informing us and giving us more that we want to hear, what do you do now that you're in retirement?
When I thought, or when I was informed that I was going to retire, and that was in my mind, that one time I'll retire from the active ministry, I started doing a few things. One, I started raising some cows.
Okay.
I started farming. So I have concentrated on cow rearing and farming. And in the farming, We grow beans.
Yes.
We grow maize. We have bananas. We have passion fruits.
Okay.
We have tree tomato, and we have other horticultural plants that we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do farming yourself physically, or?
In fact, except for this year, nimelemewa kidogo. But I was doing it physically myself, going to the farm with the workers,
Okay.
and showing them what to do. And in fact, that was my hobby even when I was young.
Okay.
Ukulima ilikuwa hobby yangu. But by the way, I wanted to go to do an agricultural extension officer.
Okay.
But I opted to take the church ministry instead. Yeah.
So when you do that kind of farming, how about the marketing of the produce?
Market is there. Market is there. Other times it is not there because you have we have people coming to buy goods here.
Okay.
People coming to buy goods here. The brokers.
Okay.
Those are the ones we call brokers. So they come and brokers, and then they take the produce, they give us money, and the life continues.
Oh, so you don't have to take the produce to the market anywhere, they come for it here?
They come for it here.
Okay.
But others, there are others who have got lorries and pickups, they take it to the market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the ministry, I know the adjustment, Legends is a program that deals with the movement from the pulpit to the pew. So in terms of the ministry, adjusting from the pulpit every Sunday, giving communion and baptizing and preaching, now you are not actively engaged in that. So how are you involved in terms of church ministry in your retirement?
In my retirement, the presbytery has some time called me to go and do some preaching here and there. Maybe a minister in a certain parish has got some job that he wants me to help, or the parish minister here can give me some work to do. But on the every Sunday activities, I normally go to my church, Egamatundu, or I go to another church just to go and sit there and listen to the preaching.
Yes.
Because I tell them I have preached for many years.
Yeah, okay.
Also preach to me now.
Okay.
Yes.
So how often do you get opportunities to perform ministerial duties?
Not quite often. Not quite often. Maybe even I can go for even 3 months without getting any ministerial activities that I'm doing. Would
you desire to do more than that?
Yes.
Much as you said that you like to go and sit and be preached to, would you like to do more than that?
I would like to do that. I would like to do that, yes. But I'm not given.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not given. Not that I don't want, but because I'm not given.
So in other words, you would want the active ministers to engage the retired ministers more?
That is what I mean. That is what I mean. Because, in fact, when a retired minister goes home, sometimes he forgets whether he has retired. Kuna mwingine niliona akichukua sanduku anaenda. Wewe na bibi unaenda wapi? You are retired. So in that case, I would advise that the young ministers, they engage the retired ministers fully. Even if it is every Sunday, let them work. Yes. Because that is their joy. Oh, yes. You see, that is their joy. But when somebody stays at home 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, without preaching, without doing any ministerial activity, then one spiritually is redundant. It's redundant. Because what the preachers give you when you go to the church, maybe you are going to give something very insignificant. According to what you have learned, or to a caliber of understanding the Bible. So when you are not engaged, you are losing something. Yeah.
So do you think to some degree there are also some retired ministers who do not really make it easy for the active ministers to engage them?
Yes, yes. Definitely there are ministers who are not that proactive after retirement. Even in the active ministry, they are there who are not proactive. Then you find somebody is relaxed, or someone does not want to work well, somebody is annoyed, somebody does this. All those things are there, but we cannot condemn it wholesale.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about the working relationship between the active and the retired ministers in your own assessment? Could there be some gaps?
There are a lot of gaps because I think the young minister who is in a parish should be very close to the minister who is retired.
Okay.
Maybe for information, maybe for consultation, maybe for anything else. But when you go for 2-3 months without even seeing your minister, then that gap is just too big, and you don't work together.
So do you attend the presbytery regularly?
Yeah, not unless I have something that is preventing me from going.
Okay.
I normally get information to go and attend presbytery.
Okay.
What the retired minister here don't attend, they are the finances, the finance meetings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now your experience in retirement. By the way, how long have you been retired? For how long?
This is my 7th year.
7th year.
Yeah.
What are the key challenges you have identified that are coming with retirement? One of which you have already mentioned, not being involved as much as you would want to, and as much as you used to. But what other key challenges have you identified and you may
maybe
mention?
one of the key challenges that I may cite is that you don't have enough to do.
Yeah.
You don't have enough to do in terms of church work, because if you are not involved, then you don't have much to do. So secondly, you don't have many friends.
Yeah.
You don't have many friends.
You don't have many friends.
Because when I came here, I was a stranger. So people say, now this stranger, you don't know what kind of an animal he is. So they keep out. They keep off. So to get that coordination and consultation and coming together, it takes time.
And especially because almost throughout your life you have worked away from home.
In fact, it is only when I came to Mpungu. All the other time I've been away from home.
Yeah.
So I'm a stranger here.
And you're yet to know quite a number of people here.
Yeah.
Wow. How about when we have functions involving the community, weddings, funerals? Do they recognize you as a minister?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Okay.
When I go, they do recognize me. And by the way, it depends on how you have set yourself within the community. Because when you go there, unaitwa tuko na Reverend Mpungu, akuja tusalimie, Reverend Mpungu tuambie kitu, they recognize me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And outside of being recognized as a minister, are you able to interact in other communal functions?
Yeah. Okay. Like now, I've been a chairman of in this water. I was the first chairman of this water.
Okay.
And I coordinated for 7 years.
Okay.
We got the water. Now we are farming with the water.
Okay.
So I've interacted with the local community.
Yeah, okay.
We have other meetings that like now we have a meeting for the aged, for the retired. I'm the vice chairman.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm involved.
Okay. That is good to hear. I want you to take a minute or so, look into that camera, and advise the young ministers from your experience.
Young ministers, what I want to tell you is, this ministry is not yours. It belongs to God. So when you are working, work knowing that God is seeing you. Number 2, when you are working, you must keep good rapport with the members, because you are alone in the parish, members are many. The other thing I want to point is, when you are working, remember the retirement is ahead of you. And to prepare for retirement, you don't prepare for retirement within 2 years or within 5 years that you are given, you call the grace period. You cannot do anything. So if you are to start preparing yourself for retirement, it is today. You start it today. The small thing that you do, like what somebody said, think big, start small, start now. This is Ben Council who has said this. You start big, you start small. Oh, no, you think big, you start small, you start now. So young ministers, I want to advise you that prepare yourself for retirement because it is there and it is real. And when you retire, there are several things that you need to know. One, your body will not be the same as what it has been. So you need insurance cover. Number two, you need to have a source of income. Number three, before you retire, please clear all your loans. Clear all your loans. Number four, make sure you are close to your family. Don't run away from the family because very many people are running away from their families. So that is simply my advice to the young ministers.
So in essence, and I know Mama Kasheri is here with you, you are in essence saying that in retirement and with your spouse, it has been far much easier than when you are not very close.
In fact,
yes.
I say, if it were not for this woman, I would not be what I am. This woman has been great help to me.
Yes.
In terms of advice about the society, in terms of advice about the farming, because she has been farming all through when I live here, when I was not here, in terms of associating with the people.
Yes.
So she has been of great help to me, and I would advise every minister to be very close to the family, to the wife, to the children.
Oh, yes.
And it doesn't matter how your children are. Some may be rogues, some may be go away from you, but they are still your children. And don't condemn them. Don't condemn them. Don't give them to the devil. Give them to God, and he is going to correct them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have you are in essence telling the viewers that even the children of ministers sometimes go wrong.
Yes, yes, that is what I'm saying. Because I remember, you know, Mishke Kamaro, kijana yake siku moja alienda katoa ngauni, akaenda kucheza rumba huko kwa kichaka, wearing the gown of the father. Anaenda kucheza rumba nayo usiku. Just imagine.
You've never had that.
You have never had that.
And I served right next to his home in Mpungu.
Yes. Kijana alichukua gown akaenda kucheza nayo rumba. Watu wakapiga nduru. Na akapokonywa ikarudishwa kwa mzee.
Hao watu sasa ni walevi. Walifanya hivyo.
Ni walevi walifanya hivyo. Ni walevi walifanya hivyo.
Wow, I have never heard that.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of the things that we keep learning is the need for supporting one another, caring for one another, praying for one another, and the need for a fraternal. And you said something that there is need for retired ministers to keep meeting.
Yes.
But you have also challenged us who are actively engaged in ministry right now that time is coming, and it's important that we have a good working relationship. So, Reverend Mpungu, we want to thank you for your time and for your ministry. You were a role model to me when I was a young man. And I longed to join the ministry because of the things you used to do as our presbytery clerk.
Yes.
You had something to say.
Okay, I have something to say. What I want to tell young ministers is that when you are working as a team in a presbytery, please take care of one another. Stop rancors. Stop hitting one another. Because as I said earlier, this ministry belongs to God. It does not belong to anybody. And it doesn't matter whether somebody has got higher education than you are, or you are getting more money than one is getting. The ministry is the same. So what I would want to say is, please stop wrangling, stop beating one another, stop backbiting, stop doing all these kind of things. Because today you are here in this presbytery as a moderator, as a clerk. Next time somebody is transferred to Nyandarua, you go there, you find that he is the moderator, he is the clerk. Now that battle continues. So can you stop the battles right now, and when you go elsewhere, you have good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for creating time for us.
Yeah.
And may the Lord be with you and continue giving you His grace, even as you continue your life in retirement. May the Lord bless you for your time.
And you too.
Yes.
Be blessed.
Viewers, we have come to the end of the Legends episode. See you next time in the next episode. God bless you.